Reverse Reverend here, trying to play catch up. My review of One Piece Chapter 879 was over a week late. I had to post it because I'd actually finished working on it and I had spent enough time on it that I just didn't want to not post it, even though it's now basically irrelevant. Another quick note, I planned on having my Rurouni Kenshin series overview out this week, but that's going to be delayed. I still have to finish the Jinshu arc in the manga and do this week's One Piece and My Hero Academia chapters when they come out this upcoming Friday, as well as review My Hero Academia chapter 154. So I only got one video done last week, and this week I have a goal of getting five done. I can't do six, especially not one as detailed as a series overview. Now, on to the current chapter of One Piece One Piece 880 No Way Out. We start off with the rundown and then go into the discussion portion, like always. So, the cover page is Sai's fiance, and she has a lot of husbands. It's kind of weird that the leader of a country would marry a person with multiple spouses. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Like Big Mom and her commune of husbands? I don't know. We start off the chapter with Pudding, Chiffon, and Sanji arriving at Cacao Island to bake the cake. Pudding tells people that Chiffon was betrayed by Beige so that she's not seen as a criminal and can help them cook the cake. She tells everybody there and the chefs there that they are there to cook the cake so Big Mom doesn't destroy the country. Pudding then requests nobody looks inside the factory while the cooking is going on so they can focus. Really, it's just so nobody sees that Sanji is in there. She then changes the memories of the chefs who come in to help, so it looks like Sanji did marry her, and the weather is what destroyed the cake and why Big Mom is going on a rampage. We see Sanji has a diagram of the cake and all of its ingredients, and Chiffon then asks him how he was able to get all the ingredients. She understands that he saw the cake, but to have all the ingredients is crazy. And then he says, "Oh, it's by the smell." And then we get a great reaction face by Chiffon. The chefs are all equally impressed. And though it's tiring, her whole dual personality thing, Pudding does have a pretty good moment here where somebody mentions that it's their first act together as a couple, and then Pudding flips Sanji the bird, saying she's going to kill him if he dares to order her around as her husband. I think it's funny because it's rare that Oda draws somebody getting flipped off. He's done it a few other times, but it's a good, unexpected comedic moment, and it's one of the few moments where I kind of laughed at the dual personality of Pudding. We then get the end of the arc time limit, which is 3 hours before they finish cooking the cake and set sail. And then as they set sail, they're going to add all the decorations at sea. After that, we jump to the mirror world where Luffy is pummeled by Katakuri, and then Katakuri is telling Verlet to wake up. He says Luffy thought he could protect his crew by breaking mirrors, but for her to find other mirrors and allow more men onto the ship and then to burn it, Verlet says she will. And then we see some of the Charlotte Longneck siblings run over with mirrors. Luffy then tries to break the mirrors, saying they need to leave his crew alone, but they dodge. Katakuri then tells Luffy that he is the one who must leave Katakuri's siblings alone, and then he kicks him. Luffy then grabs a mirror shard and yells for Nami and Jinbei. Nami responds, and Luffy's telling her to smash every mirror on the ship, but then she says that he's not going to be able to escape. He tells her, "Hey, I'll figure it out." We see the long neck siblings with Brule laughing, and they're shooting arrows into the room. Brook runs in and sees that the room is on fire. Luffy then tries to stop them, but he's kicked yet again by Katakuri. Then we have the chapter ending with Nami yells for the crew to break all the mirrors, and Luffy is telling her that he has to focus solely on Katakuri. Carrot then yells for Nami and says they're in trouble. We then see Big Mom riding a tsunami, not only a tsunami homie, but it's like a massive Whitebeard sized tsunami, but it's a homie. And Nami sees it and tells Luffy she thinks they're finished. I think this is the biggest portion of the chapter, even though it's the very last page, and we'll discuss that in the discussion portion. So, nothing big in the cooking portion. I mean, it's just a time limit that has been set, like in almost every other arc, meaning the countdown to the finale of the arc is on. Everything else is basically just a setup of the cooking process, despite this being the majority of the chapter. We then move on to Luffy versus Katakuri, but Luffy's pretty badly injured. Katakuri, again, is not injured whatsoever. I'm a little surprised something that Luffy didn't do in the beginning was use Conqueror's Haki to knock out all the underlings, and then he wouldn't have to worry about them going through the mirror, but Luffy doesn't always think ahead. So I don't get why he doesn't do it now. I don't think Katakuri could stop him from using that to take out everyone. It might not take out Brule, but it would probably take out the soldiers that are going in through the mirror or going to try to go in through the mirror. I want to know how they're going to have to deal with the ship being on fire, even if they do escape from Big Mom. So next, we'll skip to Big Mom and the Tsunami Homie, which is somehow controversial. First of all, I love this. It's amazing. This is the power of a Yonko. We saw it with Whitebeard at Marineford. This is just showcasing that Big Mom is not the weakest of the Yonko. Or if she is, it's not like Whitebeard was 5 steps ahead of her. She is equally as powerful as any of the other Yonko. I should say, even if she is the weakest, it's not like they're going to come and wipe the floor with her. She has the same power level, the same feats as Whitebeard does. And we see that here. It's a very good comparison between her Tsunami and then Whitebeard's from Marineford. I think it's a great comparison. It showcases her power as a Yonko. It showcases the power of the Yonko as a whole. The controversial part is that her devil fruit affects water. But again, two examples, obviously Aokiji affecting water. Then at Punk Hazard, you have Law lifting a ship out of the water. So he would have to actually use his room on the water because it's not like the ship is on the very top of the water. We know devil fruit powers can work on water. I mean, even Crocodile could take the moisture out of people and other things. So the idea that devil fruit shouldn't work on water isn't that controversial. And then there's the possibility that it's also just some type of sweet tea or fruit juice. But again, either way, it's not controversial because we've seen devil fruit abilities work on water as a Yonko, so people can stop saying that she's like this weak Yonko. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm really glad Oda did this because we've seen her with her ability to beat giants as a young child. We've seen her use the Elbaf spear. We've seen her easily take a Gear 4th punch like it was nothing. Then we see this. I think it made the chapter for me. So now the next thing is, how are they going to escape? So the options for their escape are another coup de burst, which I don't think they can do right now. I don't know. Jinbei uses some Fishman karate attack to split the wave. Or we have Jinbei and a combination of the Fishman pirates who show up to help them split the wave. Or kind of a wild out there idea is like some Germa super weapon where the Germa army shows up because they're going to show back up before this arc ends. Their army shows up and then they have like a super weapon and that blows up the wave. Obviously, they're not going to get beaten. And then another long shot is somebody who's super powerful shows up and stops the wave, but I don't see that happening. I think it'll be more like the Jinbei or the Fisherman Pirates. In order of likelihood, it would be Jinbei and the Fisherman Pirates, Kuda Burst, or Germa, and then would be somebody powerful showing up who can stop the wave single-handedly. So that's all I have for this chapter. Again, I wasn't a huge fan at the very beginning of it. I really liked Big Mom's power. The wave looks a little goofy. I love seeing that Luffy is getting beat up by Katakuri. Like, we just see how smart and powerful Katakuri is. The only thing I'm a little worried about there is that Luffy pull a victory out of nowhere. But again, I think Oda's been handling Katakuri really well. He's been handling this arc relatively well, apart from Sanji. But again, I know that's controversial. I'll get into that at a later date. So as long as Katakuri is beaten or dealt with in an intelligent way, which is the only thing I'm slightly worried about, then I think this arc can end off wonderfully. That's all I've got for this chapter. I'll see you guys next week, hopefully on time for 881. Thank you guys for watching.